My parents kicked me out at 16 and now want me to take care of their new daughter. I'm 24 now and I haven't spoken to my parents since I was 16. They kicked me out the day after my birthday because I got a C in calculus. My dad said if I wasn't going to be serious about my future, I could go be mediocre somewhere else. I spent 3 months in a youth shelter, got my GED while working at a grocery store, and eventually clawed my way through community college and into a state school. I graduated last year with a social work degree and got a job at a nonprofit helping at-risk teens. The irony isn't lost on me. My older brother Kevin told me they had another kid 4 years ago, a girl named Iris. He said they thought starting fresh would fix whatever was broken the first time. Last Tuesday, I got a call from my mom. She sounded exhausted and talked fast like she was scared I'd hang up. She said they were struggling. My dad lost his job 6 months ago and they couldn't handle Iris anymore. She's 6 and has behavioral problems they can't afford to fix. My mom asked if I could take her for a few months. She specifically said I work with kids, so I'd know what to do with a difficult one. I asked why she thought I'd help after what they did. She went quiet and then said they made a tough choice back then, but I clearly turned out fine since I have a good job now. Then she said, that was different. You were almost an adult. I hung up and blocked the number. 2 days later, Kevin called. He said he'd been to their house and it scared him. The place was trashed, they were fighting constantly, and Iris just sat in her room with the door closed. He said she looked really thin. Then he mentioned they'd been leaving her alone when they went to job interviews. She's 6 years old. That's when I knew this wasn't about my parents. This was about a kid in danger. I drove to their house the next day without calling first. My mom answered looking like she hadn't slept in days. The house was worse than Kevin described. Dishes piled up, laundry everywhere. The whole place smelled stale. My dad barely looked up from his laptop when I walked in. I asked to see Iris. This tiny kid came out wearing pajamas at 4 in the afternoon, holding a beaten-up stuffed frog. Her hair was tangled and she had these huge brown eyes that didn't focus on anything. We sat on the front steps and I asked her about the frog. She whispered his name was Pepper. I asked about school. She said the other kids didn't like her because she was weird. Then she looked at me and asked, "Are you the sister who got in trouble?" I asked what she meant. She said her parents told her they used to have another kid, but she messed up really bad so she had to leave. She asked if that was me. I told her yeah. She asked if I was bad. I said no, I just wasn't what they wanted. She thought about that and said, me neither. I asked if she wanted to come stay with me. She looked scared and asked if she'd get in trouble. I said no, but we'd have to ask her parents. She said okay, but could Pepper come too? Inside, I told my mom I'd take Iris temporarily. She looked so relieved she almost cried. My dad said thank you like I was doing them a favor. Neither asked where I lived or how I'd care for her or when they'd see her again. They just wanted her gone. That night, I called my supervisor. She's been in child welfare 20 years. I told her everything. She said I needed to file a CPS report as a mandatory reporter. I was scared of what would happen to Iris, but my supervisor reminded me that right now, she was in a home where she wasn't being fed or supervised properly. I filed the report that night. The next day, I picked up Iris. My mom had packed one small bag with clothes and Pepper. No toys, no books, nothing. Iris got in my car without saying goodbye. They just waved from the doorway. CPS showed up the following morning. Kevin called freaking out saying our parents were trying to figure out who reported them. The caseworker saw the house and talked to Iris on the phone. She opened an official case. 3 days later, we had an emergency custody hearing. My parents tried to say I'd kidnapped Iris. Their lawyer said I was retaliating for childhood issues. But the CPS worker showed photos of their house and read notes from Iris's interview where she said she was often hungry and scared. The judge asked my parents why they'd asked me to take Iris if everything was fine. My dad couldn't answer. The judge granted me temporary custody. My mom started yelling that I was stealing her daughter. My dad called me vindictive. The judge told them to leave the courtroom.